Marella Cruises sail to over 100 destinations with flights from more than 20 UK airports. Whether you're after some winter sun in the Caribbean, a summer trip around the Med, or island hopping in the Canaries, there's loads of choice. And the best part? It's all inclusive as standard. Your flights, luggage, transfers, meals, drinks, and even tips are all covered, so you're not constantly wondering what's going to get added to your bill. Marella's fleet has 5 ships: Discovery, Discovery 2, Explorer, the adults-only Explorer 2, and the newest addition to the fleet, Voyager.
But today we're going to be talking about our time on Marella Discovery. We cruised around Turkey and Greece, and now we're going to talk about the few things that we really loved and a few things that we didn't love quite as much.
One thing we particularly like is the Marella Navigate app, which isn't really an app.
Pretty much just a browser. You type in Navigate into your browser and then it shows up. But we love the way that it operates. There's so much information in there.
You can see at a glance all the daily programme, you can book shore excursions, you can book specialty restaurants, see opening times, bar menus, restaurant menus.
They have a port map as well as some top sites to go see and how to get to them as well. And not a lot of other cruise lines do that.
No.
Which we really thought it was a nice extra touch.
Nice extra touch.
We absolutely love the ships. I know they are old. They are like grandparents in their 20s and 30s.
All right, grand bloody parents.
But in the ship world, obviously, that's not old in real life. However, we do feel like they maintain their ships very good. We actually spoke to a couple of staff members who do say that they are kept in dry dock a fair bit to kind of keep them refreshed. Now, that's not to ignore the fact that they are old ships, so there are a couple of things around that, like, for example, chipped tiles by the pool.
Yeah.
And maybe some scratching on some of the banisters. But other than that, I feel like they look really fresh.
Yeah, they really look after their public areas on board, so all the bars and lounges are kept in immaculate condition. The staff are always cleaning and hoovering. They're spotless. You would not think that those ships are the age they are. Decor feels traditional, yet modern.
Not Swarovski staircases and not like humongous galleria you would find on some of the big MSC ships and so on Royal Caribbean. But personally, they're some of our favourites. If you're watching and haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Become our friends and join us for vlogs and reviews. No one in the real world wants to talk about cruising. So we're going to chat to you about it. So come cruise with us by hitting that subscribe button. Click, click, click. Now this next like is not directly just on Discovery. I would say this is a general Marella love, is the entertainment. We've been on a fair few different cruise lines now, from Royal Caribbean to Celebrity to MSC to Norwegian, and Marella is still one of our top favourites when it comes to entertainment, purely because the amount of variety you have. We won't go into crazy amount of detail here because we do have a whole video dedicated to how much entertainment there is on board, and the entertainment goes on all night. On some other lines that we've been on, like such as P&O, I did feel like the entertainment ended quite early. Yeah. In comparison.
Yeah, it goes into a good time of night with the late night discos as well, plus the theatre shows. Yeah. You haven't got time to be bored on Marella.
No, agreed.
We have to give a massive shout out to the amazing staff that work on board Marella Discovery. Yeah. From the bars to the housekeepers to the people that work in the restaurants.
Ents team.
Everyone is just so friendly, so approachable. They work so damn hard.
Do you know what I find as well? Is that it just seems so much happier than some of the other lines. It does change the atmosphere when the staff seem happy. Yeah. They just seem that they can kind of be themselves. We had a few bar staff who were like literally dancing to some of the live music. One of them who literally took one of the drink trays and then went onto stage and started doing all this like dancing. And then everyone was encouraging it. Yeah. It was so funny. I think there was another bartender who was literally on the dance floor with us at some point, and there was bar staff who was joining in karaoke. In general, the atmosphere is just so great, and that is because of the staff. The next one is the food and the variety of places that you can go for free. The fact that you have places like the Glass House that you can go to, as well as the main dining room.
Then you've also got the included Italian, which is Gallery 47 Degrees.
Yeah, so you're not going to the same restaurant every day, unless you want to.
Yeah, unless you want to, you can.
If you want to go to the Glass House every night, don't blame you. We hadn't done a cruise on Marella for another 2 years. Now, when we went on P&O, we were like, oh, okay, the food on P&O is definitely better. And that was one of the positives that we were going against it. It's like, okay, this is where P&O is winning. And then when we came on Discovery, we're like, I don't know if they've improved or maybe it's just been a while since we've been on there, so it was harder to compare. But we thought the food was brilliant. And again, we do have a full dining video that goes into a bit more detail about every single
aspect of the dining on board.
Again, guys, we've just got a whole series, you know. If you haven't watched it, why haven't you?
Check it out.
Yeah.
And one thing we really love about Marella is the fact they are actively trying to reduce food waste on board. We saw signs by the snack shack saying basically, only take what you need. You can always come back for more, because I guess so many people get massive plates, come back, have half of it and leave it. It's such a waste.
I know it's tempting. I know you look at the food and your brain thinks it's bigger than your belly, but just, you can go back any time.
Yeah, that food is not going anywhere. Do not worry. You can go back for seconds or thirds. Yeah. No one's going to judge you.
Another thing that we really loved about this cruise was the itinerary. Now, we have to say that this part of the world is probably one of our favourite places, the Eastern Mediterranean, Greece in general.
So we've had some of our best cruises, I would say, in the Eastern Med, I think.
Agreed.
If you're looking for sun, cultural sites to go, just beautiful sites, please consider the Eastern Mediterranean. Slightly more expensive than the Western Mediterranean, but worth the price, I think.
One thing that we also really like is the way that they handle issues. And again, we didn't have many. When we went to the specialist restaurant, my steak was not cooked right. It was overdone, and they handled it very well. I think a lot can be said about the way that errors are handled. Not errors, I mean, that's just a preference thing.
Yeah, mistakes are made, aren't they?
Mistakes are made.
Oh, goodness me. They couldn't do enough for us.
Yeah.
Like, really sorry about that. What can we do for you? Is this new one okay? Anything else we can do for you? That was so good in there.
Now, I know it's probably really shocking to think that we would have any dislikes, because all we've done is gone, no, we love Marella. Look at Marella. Can't wait to go back on Marella.
There is no perfect cruise.
No, and that's not a bad thing. There's no such thing as perfect.
Even me.
But let's cover some of the negatives. Is that when we say negatives, we do have to scrimp the barrel here.
Yeah, we are scraping the barrel of these negatives. Like, we're really nitpicking looking for them because they're not obvious.
So the first one is the drinks quality, especially on the pool deck. It's all included. You're not paying any extra for the drinks. You can kind of forgive it. Now, if it was on like P&O, when you have like the restricted drinks,
yeah, like 15 drink limit for the alcohol,
I would probably be a bit annoyed with the quality.
I think it depends on what bartender you get, because some will mix them really well, and then other bartenders are maybe a little bit, not lazier, but because if the pool deck's busy, they'll sometimes maybe give you the drinks without mixing it properly.
The worst part about it was that you just have to mix it yourself. So we got stung on our very last day. So Nathan went up to the bar and got a gin and tonic, and they charged him for it.
Yeah, so on the premium package, a can of tonic is included, but not on the standard all-inclusive. Now bear in mind, I didn't ask for a can of tonic, so it meant on our last day, just before we had to get off the ship and disembark, I had to dash down to reception, get the billing error sorted. On your last morning, you just kind of want to relax. You don't have to think about sorting issues out.
Yeah.
There's a slight annoyance that I wasn't told that it would be an extra cost, and I would have said don't bother in that case.
And that's what our annoyance is. If there is a chargeable thing, the staff should be like, do you want this chargeable thing? Again, a very small annoyance.
Yeah, very minor. It was sorted very quickly, within minutes, and I'm grateful for that. Now, I know we said that there's nothing to be added to your bill at the end of the cruise unless you choose to purchase things like speciality dining or excursions, etc. But TUI do charge £1 per person for every passenger on board that gets donated to the TUI Care Foundation. Again, you're not normally told about this. It might be mentioned in the cruise news that it gets added to your account, but you have to opt out of this, not opt in. Again, which is probably a little bit sneaky, but a lot of cruise lines do this with their charities. If you're not happy with it, you can go down to reception and they will remove these charges from your onboard account.
So that's it. That's officially the end of our Discovery series. But please don't be sad, because next coming up we have Marella Voyager, and then directly after that we have Marella Explorer. So loads of Marella content coming. And then directly after that we have Sky Princess, which we're so excited for because we've never been on a princess cruise before. And we do, on that series, have a bit of surprise coming, something that we've never done before, but we're not going to announce it until we release the videos. However, if you do want to find out a little bit earlier, go over to our Facebook and our Instagram, because we will be sharing it on our stories when we go on. If this is your first video of us and you've missed our whole Marella Discovery series, it'd be rude of us not to send you that way, because let's be honest, you're probably here because you want to discover Discovery. I know, sorry, that was bad.